A man sits in his brand new apartment, surrounded by gadgets worth more than his father's lifetime earnings. He has an iPhone buzzing with endless notifications, food delivered at his doorstep with a single click, and thousands of followers liking his pictures. Yet, when he puts his phone aside and the silence seeps in, he feels a heavy emptiness. He cannot explain why, he just knows something is missing. This is not one man's story. It is the silent cry of millions. We live in an age where, on paper, we should be happier than ever before. Technology has reduced distances, medicine has prolonged lives, and opportunities are greater than at any other point in human history. Yet, strangely, we are becoming a generation marked by sadness, loneliness, and quiet despair. Scroll through Instagram for 5 minutes and you'll notice something strange. Everyone seems happier, prettier, richer, and more successful than you. This constant bombardment of highlight reels makes us measure our self-worth against carefully curated illusions. In earlier times, people compared themselves with their neighbors or colleagues. Today, we compare ourselves with celebrities, influencers, and strangers living lives that are often edited, filtered, and unreal. This comparison trap breeds a deep sadness, whispering that we are not enough. Ironically, the more connected we are digitally, the more disconnected we feel emotionally. Loneliness has been called the new smoking, a silent killer. People live in crowded cities but go for days without meaningful conversation. Families eat together while staring at separate screens. Friendships have turned into likes, comments, and emojis. True human connection, the kind where you sit across from someone and feel understood, is fading, and with it, our sense of belonging. Modern life is a race where the finish line keeps moving. From childhood, we are told to get good grades, land a good job, buy a house, marry, raise kids, and then, maybe, be happy. But the pressure to constantly perform, achieve, and compete leaves us exhausted. People are trapped in jobs they dislike, working long hours for promotions they don't care about, just to keep up with societal expectations. The result is burnout, stress, and sadness that no salary can cure. Think back to your grandparents' time. Their joys came from small, simple things, sitting under a tree, sharing a meal with family, telling stories by lantern light. Today, life is faster, noisier, and filled with distractions. We chase bigger and better, but in the process, we have lost touch with the beauty of simplicity. The more complicated our lives become, the further we drift from contentment. Human beings were born to live under the sky, to walk barefoot on the earth, to watch sunsets without filters. Yet, most of us spend our days indoors, under artificial lights, surrounded by concrete walls. Science shows that time in nature reduces stress and increases happiness. But instead of green landscapes, our eyes are glued to glowing screens. We have disconnected from the very environment that nurtures our spirit. Parents expect children to fulfill their unachieved dreams. Society expects us to fit into rigid boxes of success, marriage, and career. Social media expects us to be perfect every day. These invisible expectations weigh heavily, and when we cannot live up to them, sadness creeps in, whispering that we are failures. Much of our sadness comes from two places: regret about the past and anxiety about the future. We replay old mistakes in our heads like broken records, while also worrying about jobs, money, relationships, and health. Rarely do we sit fully in the present moment. This tug-of-war between yesterday and tomorrow robs us of today's peace. In older societies, people found strength in community, shared values, and faith, whether spiritual or cultural. Today, individualism dominates. Me-first culture leaves us isolated, fighting battles alone. Without strong support systems or something greater to believe in, sadness finds fertile ground to grow. We are also sold a lie every day: buy this and you'll be happy. Ads scream that a new phone, car, or dress will solve our emptiness. But after the thrill fades, we are left craving more. Chasing material possessions gives temporary joy, not lasting fulfillment. True happiness, as countless philosophers and spiritual teachers remind us, lies in purpose, connection, and inner peace, not in shopping carts. Perhaps one of the biggest reasons sadness thrives today is silence. Despite awareness campaigns, mental health is still stigmatized. People hide their struggles, afraid of being judged. They wear smiles in public but cry in private. Without open conversations, many suffer in silence, believing they are alone in their pain. Sadness is not an enemy, it is a signal. It tells us something is missing. It tells us to pause, reflect, and realign. Spend less time comparing and more time appreciating what you have. Seek deep human connections instead of superficial likes. Take time to rest, to breathe, and to simply be. Reconnect with nature, silence, and simplicity. Speak openly about your struggles and listen compassionately to others. Most importantly, remember that sadness is part of being human. But when sadness becomes a constant companion, it is a sign that change is needed, not outside, but within. We are living in the most advanced age of human history, yet sadness sits silently in the corners of our rooms, in the glow of our phones, in the rush of our mornings. Perhaps the real question is not why we are sad, but whether we are brave enough to step off the treadmill of modern life and redefine happiness on our own terms. So let me leave you with this: in a world that offers us everything, why do we still feel like something is missing?